Spider-Man. We all love playing Spider-Man. Who didn't love Who didn't love Spider-Man in the 70s and in the 80s? You know, guys, I'm kind of shocked. I've talked about Colorforms a lot on this channel, but I've never looked at the brother of Colorforms, or maybe the sisters of Colorforms, the spin-off Colorforms, I guess. Now, we all remember Colorforms. It was these little rubber, it was like stickers, but you could reuse them. You could open the box and there's a little cardboard backdrop, and you put the little things on it and press it down, move them around. It's like playing with stickers, again, that you could reuse over and over. But did you know Colorforms also did another set of toys called Rub and Play? Yep, Rub and Play. I'm not talking about things you used to do in your bedroom when your parents went to a PTA meeting and you were home alone. I'm talking about the Colorforms toy, Get over it, I messed up. Colorform toy called Rub and Play. It's gonna be a good one here. But I mean, they did all kinds of them. And I wonder who remembers this, because we all remember Colorforms, but this one I don't hear much love. And they did a set that came in a box, kind of like Colorforms, with a backdrop, and some of you could rub and turn into like action figures. Well, not action, like little cardboard cutouts. Now, you might say, Junkman, that sounds like Presto Magic. And you're right, these are kind of like Colorforms' version of Presto Magic. If you remember those, you would put the thing down and rub a pencil or something over it, peel it up really slow, or a leg or head to come off, and that image would be on the board. I hope I'm explaining that well, but we're going to take a look at some of the ones they made. All kinds of different ones, from Knight Rider, the Nintendo game related stuff, all kinds of stuff from the Generation X pop culture era that we grew up with. Let's take a look. And we'll start right here with He-Man. That's right, the master of the universe himself, He-Man. There he is right there. That's no Prince Adam. As you can see, it shows the little backdrop you can get back there. I see Castle Grayskull way back there in the back. And up there you can see it is made by Colorform. Let's take a look at the back of the box so you can kind of get what we're going for here of how to do it. I like that board. That board with no sticker on would be kind of cool. Frame that and hang it up. Wouldn't it be kind of cool for your collectible room, your Gen X room, whatever, your man cave, whatever you want to call it. As you can see, there's the sheet of paper. You lay it down where you want it to, rub it. Again, it's just Presto Magic. Honestly, it's Presto Magic. But there you go right there. But let's dig into some more of these because they did different ones. How about this one right here? Told you it was going to be a Knight Rider. I told you could rub it out to Knight Rider, and you could. Yeah, you could get your rub on with the Rub and Play Transfer set. And there he is right there, Michael Knight himself. Michael Knight. Let's see, you can do all kinds of cars and stuff with him. You can do all kinds of stuff with Michael Knight. They also made, believe it or not, Battlestar Galactica. And let's be honest, they're trying to go with a Star Wars look here, aren't they? Aren't they? You know they are. They're trying to go with a Star Wars look. Be honest. It looks like a Kenner Star Wars package. You know it does. Oh, let's put a random Star Wars package up. Look at this. Look at this. Tell me that they're trying to rip off Star Wars. Kenner should have sued somebody. But there it is right there. If you were a fan of Battlestar Galactica, you could rub out and make your own Starbucks. You know, whenever you grew up, people now think Starbucks is coffee. When I grew up, Starbucks was a cool male action hero. Check out this right here. Kiss! Kiss got into the act. Kiss put their face on everything. They're still putting their face on everything, but there they are. Gene, Peter, Paul, and Mary right there. All of them. Man, didn't you love to rock out with Kiss? That was like the first real metal band we got into as a kid. I don't think people understand how huge Kiss was to kids, especially in the 70s. But I hear you calling. Remember that? Remember that? It was like the first song I fell in love with. But you remember that? What's the other song? Rock and Roll All Night. I had Destroyer album. Anyway, we're talking about Rub and Play. We're talking about rubbing it out to Kiss. Right there. And there's Gene and Peter. There's all of them right there being cool. So let's move on and check this out. Rub-a-dubbing in my tub. You can play with the rub-a-dub play of Bert and Ernie. Bert and Ernie. Yep. Bert, I don't know what else to say about. What else can I say about Bert? And from Sesame Street, we all know who Bert is. We all know who Ernie is. We might not know which one is which, but we know Bert and Ernie. And check out this right here. Billie Jean is not my lover. And y'all know from this show, I'm not a Michael Jackson fan. I don't get the hype. Like I said, beat it, maybe. I might put it on a scale, maybe a 7 out of 10. Billie Jean, I might give it a 9. I might give Billie Jean a 9. Thriller, Thriller, Thriller of the Night. I hate that damn song. If it weren't for Vincent Price, I wouldn't even listen to it. Although I bought my 45 at Rose's, and I got the radio edition. It didn't have Vincent Price on it. Anyway, there you go. Rubbing it out to Michael Jackson with Rub and Play Transfer. Yeah, a bunch of Michael. I don't know why that one. It's made a Jackson 5 that we can have more. Where's Janet Jackson? You can at least, rub her out or something. I'm sure a lot of you did rub it out to Janet. Let's move on. I'm not going to talk like that. That's dirty talk. I don't talk dirty on this channel. And then we've got Barbie. Barbie's rocking it out. Why don't we get Michael Jackson? Why can't we get like a Charlie Daniels band? Now that would have been awesome. You could have had him fighting the devil. The devil went down, could have at least done a hee-haw set, but no. Got to do something for the Northerners. We've got Barbie. Look at that hair on that Barbie. That is 80s Barbie right there for sure. And they also did, Rub and Play. Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse. There he is, right. I never was a fan of Mickey Mouse. Would y'all be honest? Y'all like Mickey Mouse? Now, I'm growing up, I saw the Looney Tunes cartoon. I never really got into Mickey Mouse. Something came on, I might, Goofy was okay. I like when Goofy would drive a car and it was like, here's how Goofy goes to work, but never really got into Mickey Mouse. Let's move on to this right here. Spider-Man. We all love playing Spider-Man. Who didn't love Spider-Man in the 70s and in the 80s? Hell, you probably liked him longer than that. I mean, Spider-Man, for God's sakes, right? Everybody likes Spider-Man. There he is right there. Looks really cool. They didn't do just Spider-Man. They also did the Hulk. Yeah, Rub and Play with the Hulk. There's only 2 Marvel characters I could find. I could find no DC characters. At least if they did, I couldn't find a picture of them. Things ain't like there's some big database of these things. But I searched around. It took a couple hours looking at this. In fact, did 72 hours straight looking up these. Didn't take a break, didn't take a nap or anything. But there you go, the Hulk right there turning all green. Rubbing and playing with the Hulk. And then we've got Cabbage Patch Kids. Or dolls. Cabbage Patch Kids. I was going to say Cabbage Patch dolls. Cabbage Patch Kids, new called kids. But there they are right there for any fat girl named Rebecca that wanted to play with a toy. This is what she got when she asked for a Cabbage Patch Kid, and they were sold out because, parents were fighting. Well, when we say parents were fighting for them, we're talking moms. Dads wasn't fighting. Dads wasn't giving a shit. Dads wasn't doing that. But moms were fighting for them, and if you didn't get one, the little fat Rebecca, she got this instead. And then we've got, believe it or not, Mork and Mindy. Mork and Mindy had a set. Look at that box. That is weird. I don't know. I've watched Mork and Mindy growing up, but I just can't imagine, of all the Rub and Play sets, I just can't see myself running down. I was like, give me that Mork and give me that Mindy. Well, rubbing one out to Mindy. Let's move on. I don't want to get into that. But look what else they did right here. And then we got the Pobbles. The Pobbles. For girls. Let's be honest. This is for girls. It's for girls. Nothing wrong with that. Girls have to play with toys too, but I just don't got much to say about it when it's for girls. So we'll go on to this right here. Now this is transfers. This was more, I guess, like a cheaper version. They just came in this little bag. You take them out. It's got a little board too, but you kind of unfold it and everything. It's not as nice as the set. The set's the one you want. But maybe you could take this and put it with your sets too. And there's He-Man right there. Rub and Play transfers. Let's look at the back of the package. You can see it's folded up. It's the map and everything. And there you go. Just tells you. It's a little cheaper version, that's all. But they made a lot of these too. They made with this one too. Silver Hulks. Yeah, Hulks that are silver. Got their own rub-a-dub-a-dub and tub toy right there. I don't know why I said tub. You can't play with these in the tub. You just can't do it. You can't play with them in the tub. You can't. Trust me. Trust me. I'm not going to tell the story of why. You can't play with these in the tub. And then they made Gremlins. Gremlins. Remember that movie? What a great movie. God dang, we had some good movies growing up in the 80s, didn't we? Great time to grow up as a kid. Great time. And we had, so they were just making movies for us. They made Gremlins. Your parents didn't understand Gremlins. They're like, what is this crap? Your grandpa, your grandpa, and grandma, whatever, didn't understand Gremlins. They was like, I don't know. This ain't black and white. They couldn't figure it out. They were all freaked out because it was in color and everything. But no, we had Gremlins. What's that little thing riding a car? It was awesome. And then you have the Pink Panther's son. Oh, and Sons. Pink Panther and Sons. I remember it was a cartoon around this in the 80s. I never really got into it, but I can remember it was a cartoon. And then we got the A-Team. B.A. Baracus. The A-Team. Says it's the 18 transfer, but let's be honest, it's the Mr. T transfer. That might be Hannibal right there. He got a little, like he's smoking a cigar. Toy, they wouldn't put him smoking a cigar today. He loved it when a plane come together. But I don't see no Murdoch. I don't see Murdoch's Invisible Dog. I don't see Face Man. I don't even see Amy Allen. I don't even see the later series when that Mexican guy joined them. Remember that Mexican guy? Robert Conrad or somebody. I don't know if it was, it might not have been Robert Conrad. It was somebody. Somebody was like the new boss. They wasn't wanted by the cops anymore. Remember that? They wasn't wanted by the government anymore. It was the A-Team. Like season 5, they wasn't even. Listen. They wasn't even wanted by the cops anymore. The government. They didn't even want them anymore. Remember the guy from the firing squad, and then hey, Robert Conrad, you can have. I don't think it was Robert Conrad. It wasn't Robert Foster. It was Robert somebody probably. He's like, yeah, you can take the A-Team along with you. Remember that? Am I just crazy? Everybody. And then they did. Michael Jackson back at it again. Just beat it. Ugh. Michael Jackson back again. I don't understand the hype. But there it is, the transfers of Michael Jackson. And of course they did. Some kind of generic robot. I don't know what this is. Just kind of some generic robot right there, to be honest with you. And then we got the Knight Rider back again. Knight Rider. He can ride at night. He's got headlights on his car. He can see at night. He's a Knight Rider. And check out this right here. Rubbing and Plit. Yeah, Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong got to get into the act. I didn't see no Mario one, but I did see a Donkey Kong one. Man, I wonder if they made Cubert. I didn't see Cubert or Pac-Man. Come on, everybody had Pac-Man fever back then. Got a pocket full of quarters. I'm headed to the arcade to play some Pac-Man. Pac-Man. Crazy, right? And check out this, Frogger. I said there was no Cubert. I said there was no Pac-Man, but somehow they made a Frogger. They made a Frogger one. I just can't see that. Just you had that piece of paper all out. You have so many damn frogs all over it. I just wouldn't seem like it'd be that much fun. But maybe it's just me. You know, they made a warning. They made Pound Puppy, the funky puppy, Pound Puppy, the funky puppy. Oh, sorry. There you go, Pound, another toy for girls right there. Pound Puppy. I knew a girl that had a Pound Puppy watch. She was like in the 7th grade. It was funny to me. I made fun of her in class, made everybody laugh and point and laugh at her. It was a great time. Good memories. Not my fault. You're like, Junkman, that's mean. That ain't my fault. She wore it down. Pound Puppy watched to school. They had a little dog you lifted up. She was in middle school. Okay, sometimes you got to draw the line. You're like, oh, that's being a book. Sometimes you got to be like, hey, you caused it yourself, okay? Plus, she looked like she was about 30. I thought she was a substitute teacher when I first saw her. I did. I was like, that's a substitute teacher. They was like, no, that's the new student. Before we get done, let me just say, yeah, they made Muppet Babies. You could rub out Miss Piggy wearing a diaper. Hate Muppet Babies. Well, let me know. Did you rub out any of these toys? Did you lay on your floor and just rub them until you got a blister right there on your finger from rubbing so much? You might have. Let me know in the comments below if you had any of these, or you're like, I just stuck straight to Colorform, or you're like, I didn't want neither one of them. I like Presto Magic.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.